Hi everyone, Alyce here, and today I'm going to show you how I cook one of my favorite recipes, my saucy vodka pasta in a slow cooker. And that is the entire recipe, including the pasta, is going to be cooked in here. So it's a bit novel, but I promise you it couldn't be easier and the results could not be more delicious. Now this recipe is straight from my cookbook, Modern Slow Cooker here. And I wrote this cookbook because I was so sick of the same repetitive, meat-heavy, rich, slow cooker soups and stews that you just see time and time again, when actually there is so much more that this appliance is capable of. So many fresh dishes, so many modern dishes, and so many things that are meat-free, really focusing on legumes, grains, heaps and heaps of veggies. So, you know, I wrote this book to bring new life to this appliance because I always say an appliance without a good cookbook is completely useless. And one of my favorite fresh and modern options is the pasta in the slow cooker. And when I say this, I get a few interesting looks. People are not sold, which is why I thought this is the perfect recipe to actually show you guys in video form, because you can see at the end just how good it looks. So first thing you need is a slow cooker. I recommend a 6.5 litre one like this size because we can cook so many delicious things. The first thing we're going to do is add onion. Now I have sauteed the onion on the stove. Yes, I cheated, not the whole thing's in the slow cooker, but I do find that onion fried on the stove in a bit of olive oil, so much more flavoursome. So it's the one ingredient I will always pre-cook before adding to my slow cooker. So this is olive oil, onion, and some garlic. So we add that in. The next thing we add is a kilo of diced tomatoes. Now these are fresh tomatoes, but you absolutely can use a kilo of tinned tomatoes also. This is going to make up the bulk of our pasta sauce. So in the slow cooker, doesn't matter what order we add these ingredients. We've then got 3 teaspoons of salt. Now, a tablespoon of chicken stock powder. This is actually vegan. It's no chicken stock powder. The recipe for this is in my book, Modern Slow Cooker, because I think this is just such a versatile flavouring that I add to a whole host of dishes. If you haven't made this, you can use You can use 2 chicken style stock cubes just available from the supermarket. So this is going to add heaps of flavour to our sauce and our pasta. And then we're going to add 2 cups of water. Now that seems like an odd thing to add to a pasta sauce, but given that the pasta is going to be cooked in the slow cooker too, what we're really doing is adding 2 cups of pasta cooking water. In we go. It's as simple as that to start off this recipe. I'm going to stir it, but I mean, do I really need to? Just a token stir there. That's it. We're then going to put the lid on. We're going to cook this for 4 hours on high or 8 hours on low. So if you're putting this on at lunchtime for dinner, go the high setting. If you're doing it before work, go 8 hours on low. And honestly, if you cook it for half an hour or even an hour more, it doesn't make any difference at this point. I'm back 4 hours later. I cooked this baby on high. Our tomatoes are cooked down. They're rich, they're delicious, but it actually looks a bit like a watery mess at this point. But that is a-okay. You just have to trust me. What I've got here is 500 grams of, maybe a bit less now, 500 grams of penne pasta. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add that straight into our slow cooker. And now we're going to give it a really good stir. Now, when it comes to slow cooking, if it doesn't need to be stirred, I'll say don't stir it. But when I say stir, you have to really give it a good stir. In particular, I want you picking up with your spatula the contents of the bottom of the slow cooker and kind of folding it into the top, okay? Because it's going to be hotter on that bottom. So we want to, redistribute everything that's in there. So stirred it around. Then I'm taking the back of my spatula, and what I'm doing is I'm actually pushing down that pasta. So for us to cook the pasta evenly in the slow cooker, we need it to be submerged below the liquid. So that's what I'm doing now. Was that simple? Lid back on. We're going to cook this for another 30 minutes on high. Now, when it comes to most slow cooking and most of the recipes in my book, it actually doesn't matter if, it's half an hour more. Like what I said earlier with the tomato mix. One exception is when you're cooking pasta in the slow cooker. When I say 30 minutes, I need it to be exactly 30 minutes because we don't want to overcook it. We want it perfectly al dente. Now you've sat and enjoyed a glass of wine for the last half an hour because dinner is literally cooking itself right now. We just have one more step and 10 more minutes and then we can serve it. So lid off again. We're going to add our famous ingredient, the vodka. So I've measured out half a cup of vodka here. We're going to add that. Now this works out to be 1 standard drink per person. So I probably wouldn't be serving this one to the kiddies, but I would absolutely be serving this one if I was entertaining. Last ingredient, half a cup of cream. I am going to free pour that, looked about right to me. And we're going to fold again. Again, to make sure this pasta is cooked really evenly and perfectly, we need to fold the pasta that's on the bottom of the slow cooker and fold it up to the top. This is literally the most complex technique that we ever do in the slow cooker. So if you can nail the fold up, you can cook every single recipe in this book. So I'm just giving that the really good stir, folding, and then like we did earlier, I'm just gonna push the pasta down with the back of the spatula just to make sure it's all submerged for this last 10 minutes of cooking. Okay, it's looking good. Ooh, lid on, another 10 minutes on high, and when I say 10 minutes, I mean 10 minutes. Time it perfectly. Dinner is ready. It was as simple as that. Our pasta is beautifully cooked and our rose sauce looks beautiful. All you've got to do now is get your serving bowl and serve up your meal. Now, if you're not going to eat all this pasta in this sitting, what I would recommend you do is get it out of the slow cooker straight away because this thing is very insulating, keeps all the heat in. So we actually don't want to overcook our pasta. So get it all out, get it in a container. It is beautiful as leftovers. Okay, I reckon that's a pretty good serve for me. That is my saucy vodka pasta cooked in the slow cooker. Now I love some kind of green garnish on this, some fresh rocket, fresh herbs, basil, parsley, delicious. You can add some cheese, some grated cheese, some feta cheese, some chili oil, some chili flakes, whatever your heart desires. But frankly, it's pretty good just as it is. Now this recipe plus 85 other super easy, super delicious, meat-free, slow cooked recipes can be found in my latest cookbook, Modern Slow Cooker.